Hi gorgeous, it is so good to be back. Let me tell you, if you missed the update of where I've been for the past 2 weeks, that video came out on Monday. I'll have it linked for you below. It's not the greatest of news. It's been quite a struggle for me these past 2 weeks, to say the least, so I'll just warn you up front. But I do have a very positive, uplifting announcement that will be coming on Monday. So we have good news on the way. And I'm not going to confirm or deny anything, so you can ask, but you'll have to wait until Monday. Today's video is reviewing 2 new products from Maybelline. Their 24-hour Superstay full coverage, full coverage foundation, and their Total Temptation eyeshadow and highlight palette. I still have a little bit of stuffy nose, excuse me. I actually filmed the demonstration portion of this video 3 weeks ago, before all of that stuff started happening in my life. So I had to go back and review the footage to remind myself how I really felt about these products. I'm giving you an honest opinion. I'll show you how they apply, my first impressions with them, and I've also included a wear test at the end so you can see, are either of these worth getting or not? First brand new product I'm using from Maybelline to kick this video off is their Total Temptation Shadow and Highlight Palette. Isn't that beautiful? And I'll show you up close swatches on the back of my hand here before we get going with the application, so you can get an idea of what the colors actually look like on application. I'm going to start with this dusty mauve and apply this into the crease. Very pigmented, yes. I was hoping there wasn't going to be any disappointment with these. So far, so good. And you know what's funny is that all of the shades in this palette, when you first look at them, look like they're going to be glitter bombs and very shimmery, but it's very deceiving. There are a few of these in this palette that are actually matte in finish. Very pretty. Okay, for the next shade, I am going to go with the silver right above that mauve and attempt, I'm not sure how this is going to come out because the eyeshadow is very powdery when I'm picking it up with the brush. Attempt to apply it to my inner half of the lid. Yeah, no, it's not working. It went all over my face. I didn't even get any on the eye. All right, I'm gonna have to apply this wet. Not the best of quality with that shimmery silver. It's a really pretty color, don't get me wrong, but it's gonna require a wet application and a really dense brush. Gosh, that's a pretty color, but the formula could really use some improvement. If you've ever used the MAC Luster Finish eyeshadows, this is the exact same kind of formula. It's almost like applying straight glitter on your eyes. It's really hard to get it to stay there. The last eyeshadow I'll take from this palette is what appears to be a black here, but it's more than likely going to be a smoky gray. I'd be willing to bet on it. And I'll apply that to the outer corner. Goodness gracious, look at how much fallout just came off with that. Now you see why I do my face last. That is why. It makes things look a lot cleaner, much more professional, put together, etc., etc. And I don't have to worry about messing up my concealer or my foundation. Although it is more of a medium black, it's not a richly pigmented deep black. Taking a little bit more of that black shade and bringing it up in the outer V to meet that crease color. And see, this is one of those times when you have to appreciate the lightness of a black like this because it makes doing your outer V so easy and you don't have to worry about applying too much. And blending is a lot easier too when it's all said and done. Well, let's clean up the face because it's bugging me. So I'm sitting here and looking at the next product to apply that's new from Maybelline, and I realize I forgot to apply it. This is their new Tattoo Studio Brow Gel. This is the one that is supposed to last for up to 2 days. It just came out in Walgreens stores not that long ago. It's been very highly requested, so I forgot to apply it, but what I will do is we'll do an entire video focused around this product alone. I feel like we need to do that anyway because this one says it lasts for up to 2 days. So I do really want to test that out in its entirety. This will be coming to another video soon for you. Anyway, another product I had to test out for you is Maybelline's Superstay Full Coverage Foundation, and this one touts a 24-hour wear. Shade that I picked up, by the way, is Fair Porcelain number 102. Has a very nice pump. I really like seeing that. I'll show you the consistency of it once I can get it out of the bottle. Okay, great consistency as you can see there. It's not runny. I just don't like these foundations that run all over the place. Okay, this may actually be a really good color match. It's light. It has an interesting texture at first when you're blending it in. It almost looks like it's not going to blend in. Actually, I can still see it on top of the skin. I'm gonna continue trying here. It's a little more troublesome to blend in than other foundations. Taking a little bit longer than I normally like for it to with a foundation. Only because it's sitting on the skin and it's really hard to get it to blend in so it looks natural. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. If you look on this side of my face, I'll zoom in here because we got no shame here, no shame. Look closely right there. You see how it's sitting on the skin? It's not blending in that well, and it's doing the same thing over here in between my eyes. And I just exfoliated this morning, but it's somehow still finding little pieces of dry skin that I have. Ugh. We're gonna roll with it regardless. We're gonna continue testing it, but initially I'm just not liking how it's blending or how it looks on the skin. Maybe after the powder application it'll look a little different, hopefully. Well, I was hoping that the powder would help to lessen that cakey, not blended in feel for the foundation that I was having, but it really didn't. It only emphasized the cakey spots around my face if you look closely, especially right there in between my eyes. It just... I am really going to step outside my comfort zone here real far. And I am going to use this highlighting shade from the palette. Lord. Oh, it's actually very pretty. It's very sheer. I don't even know if it's going to come across on camera. It's a light lavender, a lot of sparkle in the formula. It's not the most pigmented highlighter I've ever used. I mean, you can see it. You'd have to really, like, if you really wanted to see this though, you'd have to pile it on. I'm just not that type of person. Well, here's the thing. We'll start with the foundation first. After wearing it for a straight 8 hours, it didn't get disco ball shiny on my face. So it did stay put pretty well. But all of those problems that I had mentioned during the application still existed. It looked cakey on the skin. It pulled out all kinds of dry patches on my skin. And I had exfoliated that morning, which was what was so frustrating to me about this foundation. It just did not look natural on the skin. And I felt gross with it on. So I just don't recommend this one. As much as I wanted to love it, there were more negatives with it than positives, in my opinion. Now, the Total Temptation eyeshadow and highlight palette was pretty good for the most part. The eyeshadows lasted all day. There was no fading, no muddying between the eyeshadows, which was really nice to see. When used as a highlighter on the face, it does fade by the end of the day, so it's not as strong as when you initially apply it. So a little disappointing there, but if you were to use it solely as an eyeshadow palette, I don't think you'd be disappointed by it. As for that new Maybelline brow product that I mentioned halfway through this video, I've already tested it out. It will be Friday's video coming up here in a couple days, and I will give you the lowdown nitty-gritty on this one, let you know if this is one that is worth getting or skipping too. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on that notification. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I look forward to seeing you again very soon, and I want to wish you a wonderful rest of the week ahead.